Hi there, welcome back to the channel. This is Michael. Today we're going to be talking about my 5-star reads of 2022. So let's just jump right into it. Now, I did do some videos already throughout the year on some of these, so if you want to get some more in-depth into my thoughts on some of these books, you can definitely go check those out. So I'm just going to run through the ones that I have done videos on just because those are pretty straightforward. So the first one was this series, The Babysitter by R.L. Stine. I read through this series this year, books 2, 3, 4, and I just loved it. It was a lot of fun. Totally silly, totally off the wall, YA horror. I do recommend reading these if you want to delve into some R.L. Stine. These were a lot of fun and totally bizarre. And I love all the covers. I think those are fantastic covers. So if you get a chance, check those out. Next up was The Auctioneer by Joan Sampson. Again, this was one of my 5-star reads. This one is a small town where an auctioneer comes in and starts sort of getting people to donate their goods so he can sell to create a police force. And he kind of creates this sort of fascist state within this town and starts taking things from people until he's taking houses and land and kicking people off, all to build this sort of new perfect community. This was a fantastic read. I do highly recommend this one. This is the Paperbacks from Hell release. This Symbiotic Fascination by Charlie Jacob. I read this in January of 2022. Again, this was a 5-star read. Fantastic artwork. I just loved this one. This was super gory and super neat. Some of the weirdest sort of videotape curse kind of things going on, sort of with like the Ring with the curse videos. But yeah, the VHS tapes on this are fantastic. If you love VHS tapes, there's some really creepy stuff in this that goes on, and it's kind of like a weird demon vampire story. Really good. Highly recommend this one. Okay, next up was Peter Watts' Beyond the Rift. This was a short story collection. This is a science fiction horror author, but this one really sold me. It had a prequel story to, or sorry, not prequel, but a story to go along with John Carpenter's The Thing. This was sort of the story of the Thing told from the point of view of the creature, and he creates this sort of unique biological entity that is sort of confused by how humans are just these like brains in these like biomechanical suits when you could be so much more and have so much history if you were a thing. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. Another short story collection. This is The Next Time You See Me, I'll Probably Be Dead by C.V. Hunt. This was another 5-star read for me. I've read about 4 or 5 of her books now, but this is cream of the crop. She's really come into her own with writing, her storytelling. I absolutely love this one. It has some creepy stories in it. One in particular takes place in sort of a Spirit of Halloween type store, and that just freaked me out because it's really intense with where it goes. But yeah, all these stories in this are very, very good. I do recommend if you want to read C.V. Hunt, pick this one up. This is a great way to start her works, and you can delve into some of her other stuff. She has a new book out this year, or it came out 2022, which I have not read yet, called Meat Photo. It's her and another fellow wrote it. That's probably fantastic as well. So yeah, C.V. Hunt's Next Time You See Me, I'll Probably Be Dead. Okay, now these last two are my 5-star reads that I did not do any videos on, but I do highly recommend these books. First up is The Whisper on the Night Wind by Adam Schultz. He is a Canadian adventure writer. This is following sort of a hiking expedition into the Canadian wilderness as he investigates sort of the mythology of a monster that is lurking out there. So he sort of just goes to the same places where these myths sort of sprung up. So he visits some old abandoned villages out in the middle of the woods, just off the river. It's him and a fellow sort of climbing mountains and investigating the area, experiencing some creepy stuff while he's out there. I highly recommend Adam Schultz's work. I will do a video this year sort of highlighting his work. He is sort of an explorer of Canada, and he also loves maps as much as I do. But for horror fans, this is a good way to jump into some of his works. The Whisper on the Night Wind is probably his creepiest effort yet, but his other books are fantastic. If you are interested in Canadian history or maps, he's got another book, The History of Canada in 10 Maps, which was a phenomenal read. But yeah, if you like adventure books, this is definitely one to pick up. And lastly, this is another 5-star read. This was Zoe Punches the Future in the Dick by David Wong. David Wong is the pen name of Jason Pargren. He wrote all the John Dies at the End books, but this is his Zoe Ash series. Zoe is a sort of a punk rocker girl who grew up in a small trailer, in a trailer park. And it turns out her father is like a billionaire crime lord who, when he died, left her his entire fortune and his entire criminal organization. So this is the second book in the series. This is sort of comedy sci-fi with some horror elements in it, but it's mainly just to be fun and have fun, wacky stuff happen, similar to the John Dies at the End series. I'd go so far to say I actually almost like these ones more than the John Dies. Maybe because Zoe's a little bit more punky than the other guys are. The other guys are kind of wacky, but as well. But these Zoe books are fantastic, and she really does punch the future in the dick. It is painful and fantastic. So this is the last one published under the David Wong. He's now publishing under his real name, Jason Pargren. Apparently he's a TikTok star now, which is funny. But yeah, I do recommend picking up this series. The first one's called Fancy Suits and Futuristic Violence, which is also very good, but that's sort of the origin of her getting involved with this criminal organization. But there's airships in this, there's explosions, there's like cults, there's a dog, or no, a cat. There's a cat. But yeah, this is a fantastic book, and also this version is really nice insides. There's the kitty there. So yeah, read a Zoe Ash novel. Do yourself a favor for 2023. Read one of Jason Pargren's books, or David Wong if you see it used. Okay, so that was all of my 5-star reads for 2022. I was hoping there'd be more, but it wasn't the greatest year for reading. I read a lot of duds, but I also found some gems, which is good. So yeah, that's it for the day. Let me know if you read any of these, or if you have any other recommendations that I should read for 2023 that are similar to these. I would love to hear about it. All right, talk to you guys later, and have a great week. Bye. Check. Check 1, check 2. Sibilance.